there, Glenn with the Toy Temple, and today's haul of toy hauls will focus on a very special subreddit. It's called ToyExchange, and ToyExchange is where you'll post things that you just don't really want anymore. It's kind of the land of misfit toys. And so people post their Marvel Legends, their Star Wars Black Series, for example, or maybe they just choose the Build-A-Figure pieces. But anyway, long story short, trade some Build-A-Figure pieces, come away with some very nice stuff. So I wanted to review it and make this haul of toy hauls a little bit themed, if you will. First up, we've got Deadpool Wave Cable. And I've got another Cable, but nothing like this 90s inspired behemoth. I mean, he's a gigantic figure. I love him. He comes with 3 guns. One right there, one in his hand, and one that's attached via a peg on his shoulder pads, just like that. Cable being the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey in the future when Apocalypse takes over, he's a very cool character. I mean, just the big shoulder pads, Rob Liefeld all over the place. Pockets, pockets, pockets. He got the very, very exclusive Rob Liefeld treatment. The exploding eye, the big shoulder pads, mechanical thing attached to his head. They went nuts with it. I really like the guns. They're not painted or anything, but the fact that he comes with 3 of them is pretty cool. The paint apps are great. The brown, the green, the silver, just looks awesome. And the shoulder pads are removable. I'm not going to remove them, but you can take all this stuff off and kind of dress him down. But he just loses the appeal, and he just doesn't look as cool without them. All in all, he's a very spectacular figure. I really like him. He's going to go great on the X-Men shelf. If you see him for cheap, pick him up. Now, Gladiator, I'm not entirely sold on as a figure. First off, I don't know who he is, but I do know he's a cosmic character. He is with the Shi'ar, and I think he fights with the X-Men. I remember him from the animated series. I definitely remember that. But this figure, I don't know. Like, what is your deal with your neck, man? Like, look how far out it sticks out. What is all this? Is that how people's heads look? That's not right. That's not right at all. I don't know. The cape, it's just kind of rubbery plastic. The paint looks fine on it in some places, but then you get kind of near the corners and it starts getting a little into the yellow mixed with the red, and yeah. You know, they painted on that belt, they painted on the emblem. He's a lot of reused parts. Next up, we've got Bishop from, let's see, it's the Sauron Wave. Yeah, it's got a bunch of Deadpools in it, Omega Red, but I wanted to build a figure and I hope to get it one day, but I didn't want anybody else from that wave. It wasn't great. But what I did want was yet another X-Man, and this Bishop is really nice. I really like it. It comes with belts, the bandana around his neck, the big M painted in right there on his face. Gun, big gun right there. Love that gun. One thing I don't love is the backpack accessory to store it. I don't know, it just seems like it's made for like a baby. I don't know, it's too big. The gun does fit. The gun definitely fits. You just go, boop, okay, that's where the gun sleeps. But, get out of there. But I don't know, it's just, I think it's too big. Or if it could, it needs to be removable, which it is not. Funny thing is, you can actually put the gun into each hand. He has trigger fingers on both. I wish he did have a punching hand, but, you know, maybe he's, you can make him be like, yeah, come here, I'm gonna shoot you. This Bishop does look very show accurate. I remember watching it and he was facing off against, I think, Nimrod? I don't know. They had a Terminator-based episode. It was the 90s. Everything was Terminator. But he comes back from the future, no pun intended, finds Wolverine. Wolverine's like, and then Nimrod shows up, takes all the X-Men to beat him. They throw him back into the future. Bishop's like, hey, I can't send him back by himself. And then goes back to the future, never to be seen again. So there's your somewhat history on Bishop. I like the big X symbol right there. That's awesome. None of the pockets open, but what are you gonna do? You know, you can't have it all. I like this this symbol right here, painted in, X-Men with the little logo on top of it, clearly from the future. I don't know if they'll ever do a MCU Bishop, because, you know, it'll be a while before they really get to that point with X-Men. But I think he could work. He's definitely a cool enough figure, and he's definitely a cool enough character. And here we have Cyclops. And this Cyclops is different than your Jim Lee, you know, yellow bandolier, hair poking out of the top, X-Man from the 90s. This one's a lot more 80s, and I like it. I love Cyclops. They really did a nice job on this. I like the gradient of blue. He's got little spots that aren't as blue as the rest. It's a lot of very nice blue. A lot of nice yellow right here. I do wish they could have done something, like how they did the boots right here. I wish they could have done something right there. Just a little bit something on the arms to make it not blend together so much. But the paint lines are clean. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's like a little speck right there. But otherwise, it's very, very cleanly painted. And I don't have a problem with it. I do like that he's got the hand right there, so you can be like shooting people with your laser optic eye beam. The belt, though, doesn't want to stay in place, and I'm glad they didn't paint it, but it's just not staying on his hips, and it's kind of dipping below the equator. Stay in one. Okay, I don't know. It's not a very tight fit. It moves around too much. I don't think I've ever done a father and son review. Let me grab old Cable here. You want to have a catch? No. Okay. And there you have it, the first ever X-Men themed haul of toy hauls. What'd you think? I think it's a great haul, honestly. I mean, Gladiator's probably the worst one, but definitely some big winners here with Bishop and Cable. Pew, pew, pew. I think they're fantastic. Definitely, if you see these, pick them up. Really, really excellent. And if you love the 90s, these two are automatic winners. So if you like this video, hit like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Toy Temple. And remember, you're never too old to enjoy the things you love.